Hey, what's up? Starting a little earlier. Hmm. I'm just going to do some stuff real quick before we get started. For those who are waiting. Hold on. This. Where is it? Hey, brother Mark. What's going on? We're just waiting for more people to come in, and plus I'm trying to invite some people to come over. How's it going, by the way? Okay. Hey, Solo Dolo, what's up? Hanging in there, but I'm good. Okay, that's good, brother Mark, 1992. Hey, Solo Dolo, what's up? All right. I'm hoping to get more people in the near future, but I guess we're good with what we got so far. All right. So a lot of things has been going on. So has anyone been following the Chauvin trial, the Derek Chauvin trial? As y'all, those you who may or may not know, that was the cop or former cop or race soldier that killed George Floyd last year by having his knee on George Floyd's neck. So I know that this is what, day 6, 7, 8 of the trial. So I'm not really following the trial. I'm just really waiting on the verdict. That's what I'm really waiting on. And let me tell you something. If they let that man off, it's going to be chaos. Chaos. Pure chaos if they let that man. Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, I get my updates too from the New Black Media as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm not gonna be shocked. But they better. But let me tell you something. This system better not be surprised if there's a you know what that happens as a result of Derek Chauvin getting off, because black people are not going to be taking it anymore. It's going to get to a point. Also, my prayers go to one of my favorite rappers of all time, and that is DMX. DMX has been one of my favorite rappers from a long time. Jdawg was one of my favorite songs from him. Stop Being Greedy. Some of his We White Right Here. Some of my favorite songs from the artist. For those of you who may or may not know, DMX is in critical condition after suffering a heart attack that was caused by complications due to dealing with his battle with drug addiction. And now he's in a coma. He's having they said he's oh yeah, that was another song that I like, Party Up. Up and here, up and here. Yeah, that was a classic. But unfortunately, classics from guys like DMX may not ever come again, especially after what is happening to men like DMX, who brought us some of those great songs. They say that yes, that's another classic song from DMX. But if he dies, we will never get some of those classics from other artists, because DMX was a different breed of rapper. We're definitely not going to get this type of classics from some of today's artists like Little Nothing X. See, unlike Little Nothing X, DMX was a real artist, a real rapper, a real lyricist, just like the guys before him. And this is why a lot of people, especially in my generation, the older millennials, anywhere between the older millennials and the young Gen Xers, do not like today's rap. Because we grew up or were already young adults or teens when your DMXs were out. I'm in my 30s right now. DMX was out when I was just about finishing up my preteens, about to head over to being a teen. I'm in my 30s now. And his music was classical. But now dealing with his drug addiction, and now that is now putting his life in jeopardy. People are praying for him and hoping that he somehow comes out of this. I mean, because we can't lose more of our legends, regardless whether it be sports, music, film. We lost Cicely Tyson earlier this year. We lost a great actress in Cicely Tyson. Now we're going to lose a great music artist, a great rapper, in DMX. Yeah, I don't listen to that guy's mess. I just really can't get into some of today. There are some good artists that I do like. You know, your Kendrick Lamar's, your J. Cole's, your Rap Cities, even some of the Drake songs and Rick Ross songs are good. But I cannot, some of those others, especially those mumble retards and little not nothing X and bitch 9 and post Aho and all that. Those guys, and the Ming Ho and Cardi bitch. I can't deal with those artists. Yes, I do too. I do too. Solo Dolo, because back in the 80s and 90s, you know, because I was born in the 80s. My childhood is in majority of the 90s, and my teenhood was majority of the 2000s. That was when real music was coming out. We had real music. Yes, there was some explicit stuff then too, but at least the artists had talent. Yes, yes, you're exactly right. And now the worst part is that we're not only losing our music, we're losing our legends. Whether it's from shootings or illness or accidents or natural causes, we're losing our legends. You, yeah, she's fighting, and don't be surprised that she ends up in a bad predicament that costs her life as well, because that's what happens to some of the. That's what happened to Michael. That's what happened to Prince. That they mysteriously died. Many people believe that those were hit jobs. Many people believe those were hit jobs. And now I'm starting to believe, I think DMX is the result of a hit job as well. Because number one, first thing is they've got to get rid of some of these artists to put in the little nothing X's, the no talent, little nothing X's, to try to push an agenda towards our youth, our younger generation, especially when the older generation would not sell out like that. And also because these record labels are evil. They have put artists, and this ain't just hip hop, but any music artist, in a bad predicament. And there are different kinds of bad predicaments, a lot of bad predicaments, including the biggest one, ownership of the music. Because it's the artists who write the songs and sing the songs and rap the songs and stuff, but yet the record label gets majority of the ownership. Oh yes. Oh yes. I heard about Nipsey Hussle. Now his was more than just his music. His property was also on the line. His marathon store, he was fighting against the California government over the gentrification. And they believed that was a hit job. And Dr. Dre, they believe that what happened to him, he survived his situation. He's doing all right now, but many people believe that wife of his, who he's divorcing, may have something to do with it. And Anita Baker, yeah, she's finally get her master's. All right, because that means once she gets her master's, she has full control of her music. That means if her music is used, the money goes to her, not to the record label, unless of course they share money cuts. But she will have at least some of her ownership if she gets her master's. Like the money, some of the money will go to her, not just only the record label or the estate. And that's why a lot of these record labels don't like giving their artists their masters or publishing rights. And that's why some artists even get hurt or killed because of when it comes to their music. And that's why some artists are not like Chance the Rapper was not just going straight to sign a record label. Now back to the DMX situation. No one knows exactly what really caused him, other than that he had drug addiction. But many people believe that the industry messed him up too. But we don't know what else. Oh, we just know that he had a heart attack and he has a history of drug abuse. We don't know what led to him relapsing. Was it pressure? Was it the urge? Was it that he was hard, it was hard to control? So, and now he's in a vegetated state, brain damage, his brain functions are not working. And because, let's not forget, he's an elder man, he's an older man. His immune system and his body may not heal up as fast. And to make it worse, the damage from past drug addictions may also make it harder for him to recover because, like I said before, his health issues, his drug addiction, and he's an older man, and which means he probably has a messed up immune system, which also means he's not going to easily recover just like that if he ever does recover. His body is, but it's going to be a lot easier, unfortunately, for his body to wither away, which will make it even easier for him to die, which is the unfortunate, which I don't want to happen. But that's why I'm saying I'm praying for DMX. I hope he finds that. I hope he finds a way. I hope a way is found. Because that's another thing. We lose too many of all the artists, music artists in our community that died. It's always the good ones that died. That's another problem. It's our biggest legends, our good ones, the ones that actually had the talent, are the ones that die off. Not wishing death on our no talent list. Yes, many people, and I think this came from either Tariq or Terrain Rain's channel that I saw. Yeah, he had a close friendship with Aaliyah, and then I think Aaliyah and DMX helped each other out. That's why they were together in that movie that had Jet Li in it. You know, the martial artist. They were in that movie together. They did a lot of. They did the song together. And they were becoming close friends. Who knows how even? Oh no, I'm not gonna go that far. But yeah, it got then the plane accident, the one that killed Aaliyah. Oh, it was yeah, that's right. Now I remember it was Terrain that I saw it. Yeah, the plane accident that killed Aaliyah. I mean, he was hurt, and you even saw the hurt when the song "I Miss You," where they had all those people in tribute for Aaliyah. He was in the beginning of the song. He was the first one that talked in the video. That talked in the video. Then that showed you right there. I actually saw the pain that he was going through that when he lost Aaliyah, when Aaliyah died, because of how close they were. And then I think by his fourth or fifth album, we didn't really get too much, like, because in the past we used to get an album every year involving DMX, but then after the tragedy, he'll make the fourth album, and then maybe we'll take a few years for him to do the fifth, and then he just fell out. You know, that's when his drug addiction started. So yeah, it's sad to hear what's happening to DMX. All right. Now, I wanted to talk about something else. That was just two topics. Now, some of those topics wasn't even planned, but that is just one. Okay, so the DMX and the Chauvin case. We're gonna the Derek Chauvin case. We're just gonna have to look more information. The days are still going by, so that's why I'm probably going to do one single video, and that's probably mostly when it comes or gets close to the verdict, or when the verdict does happen. All right, so let's talk about some other stuff that has happened. Yeah, there's something I wanted to bring up, ladies and gentlemen. They find everything to blame black people for no reason. They, as you know, they blame us for the Asian hate, even though it's mostly these white supremacists, but because the mainstream media, but luckily we have the new black media to debunk. But I want to bring up why a lot of black people are starting to boycott some of these businesses. Because number one, we're tired of being lied on by that particular community. And number two, well, this. So, a racist Asian female restaurant owner called the police on this black woman because the black woman didn't say anything negative. She said that something in her dessert did not taste right. And you got to be careful, because if you are going into some of these businesses, you better be careful with the food that they serve you, because they are seeing that black people are being blamed for that violence against Asians, and that the Asians think that black people are the ones that's attacking them and not anyone else. Don't be surprised if some of these racist Asians in particular decide to start poisoning or finding ways to hurt black people, even try to kill black people, like poison the food or stuff like that. And that's exactly what this girl may have went through. But I'm going to play this video about what happened to this black woman. Hold on. Sorry about that. What I might have to do is I might have to do that. All right. Now we're going to try again. That's all right, but... Here we go. Now let's start all over, and now let's try again. Hold on. It might be because when I might be easier if I just do this. I don't know, but that's all right, but and especially the way black people are viewed nowadays. And we call the police on us over this. I'm sorry. She was trying to make it seem like I was trying to not pay for it and just try it, not pay for it. I asked if I could get something else exchanged. And they said they couldn't do it. I felt sick after eating it. It's a very strong sour taste. And I just asked if I can get a refund. So I don't understand why the police had to be involved over something like that. It's so embarrassing. This is like the most embarrassing thing. All right, that's it. Now I'm about to. All right. Okay. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but this is why we're gonna have to boycott some of these places. It's since they think that we're too dangerous for them, or we think that we're stealing, even though we're their biggest market. Remember, most of these Asian business stores, we're their biggest Patreon. But since they think we're the threat or we're trying to steal, maybe it's time to support more Black-owned businesses and leave the Asian businesses alone, and let's see how they can do their business without our help. Because remember, we help their businesses. We help them get in this country when white supremacists were attacking them, and they're still attacking them. Then you have our Black celebrities donating money to the Asian community, our Black sellouts celebrities, which is why another reason why I don't really support a lot of our Black celebrities anymore. You know, they doing all those fake staged attacks. The racists, the white supremacists are getting mentally ill Black homeless Black people to make fake staged attacks on Asians. Yeah, they are sellouts, Solo Dola. So I was like, okay, so we're that dangerous. Okay, and we're other than your own community, we're also your second or your biggest Patreon. Okay, let's see. Since we're that threatening, why don't we stop supporting your businesses? We'll go to our businesses or somewhere else, and let's see you thrive without our help. Joe Biden will probably give you some loans and some money, you know, from his policies. But that doesn't mean that money is going to last long, because you still need Patreons to shop at your businesses or shop or buy your food. Let's see you continue to thrive without us, since that's what their racist, the racists in that community feel about Black people. All right. They want to believe, and I said that even some of their people are saying that the media is lying on Black people to try to put a wedge between Asians and Blacks. Well, there already is one. It started with the death of Latasha Harding and Akai Gurley by the hands of Peter Liang, and then the rapes of those innocent Black women from Daniel Holtzclaw. So the tensions between Asians and Blacks is already getting worse, or it's already at its worst. So I was like, you know what? Since that's how they want to feel, fine. We won't support their businesses no more. Why should we continue to support their businesses if we're that much of a threat? Even go get the white people to support you. Get your own community to support you. Then fine, we won't be there. Because remember, we're dangerous now, according to these racist Asians. All right, but next topic. By the way, if y'all want to come on in, maybe I'll give you a link to see if y'all want to come on in. If not, that's okay. But I want to get on to our next and that is SNL and Daniel Kaluuya. Shame on Daniel Kaluuya and SNL for that disgraceful sketch on SNL. Well, what I'm about to do right now is but you know what? First, before I go on to the SNL, I'm going to talk about the fact that we don't have no. I'm going to continue on with this whole thing about the we don't have no allies, and about the. It's not just the Asian community, the races of the Asian community. It's also the Hispanic, the Arab, and definitely white people. This to show you that we don't have friends, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have friends. All right. Matter of fact, here's something else I wanted to show you. This doesn't have nothing to do with the Asian community, but I needed to bring this up too. Let's just talk about the Hispanic gangs. You remember in Chicago attacked black protesters. Now this was last year. And you remember in California, they were firebombing houses. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. This is to show you that black people don't have friends. Black people do not have friends. We need to stop this minority coalition, this people of color coalition. It doesn't exist. Black people is going to have to start uniting against white supremacy, against the racists from all communities that hate are anti-black. All right, black people are going to have to start uniting. Now let's go on to what I talked about just earlier, the SNL sketch. Why a lot of people are mad at Daniel Kaluuya, and I'm just only going to show this picture. It's from it's from an article from BET.com. Why is angry? Well, this has to tell you. Daniel Kaluuya's SNL sketch about vaccine faces backlash from Black Twitter. And let me tell you, I actually was one of those people on Twitter that I said it was a disgraceful sketch. A lot of black people on Twitter came after SNL over the over what happened with that ridiculous piece of crap garbage sketch. So what happened, ladies and gentlemen? So Daniel Kaluuya played this game show host that was supposed to try to convince black people to get the vaccine, because everyone knows, or the Zine or Chemical V, you gotta be careful because they get the YouTube and them get hectic over. Probably not gonna get. This is why I'm not even monetizing this live stream. I mean, I don't get monetizing anyway. But Chemical V, a lot of black people do not trust Chemical V. Why? Because of years of racism from the medical industry that's happened against black people. But all of a sudden, they need all of us to take Chemical V. But anyway, this big sketch was basically mocking black people who refused to take to take Chemical V. And I didn't like that sketch. I do not think it's funny to laugh at black people's mistrust of the scene. Black people have many reasons why not to trust the scene. Oh yeah, let's talk about Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya is not FBA. Daniel Kaluuya is a black British actor. And a lot of people, he got into controversy over that role as Fred Hampton, a foundational black American who was a part of the Black Panther who was assassinated by the police. And many people question him because the fact he is not FBA. He's not foundational black American. The same thing people questioned about Cynthia Erivo doing Harriet Tubman and recently Aretha Franklin for the miniseries. Remember, Jennifer Hudson is supposed to be doing it for the upcoming movie this summer, and even the family of Aretha Franklin was mad about Cynthia Erivo playing Aretha Franklin in the miniseries Genius, but they are heavily supporting Jennifer Hudson for the movie Respect. The family is supporting, and the reason why the family is supporting Jennifer Hudson and not Cynthia Erivo, what's up, Think Tank, is because Aretha Franklin herself, before her unfortunate death, picked Jennifer Hudson. I even call Jennifer Hudson a modern day 21st century Aretha Franklin, how she sings. That's why Aretha Franklin herself, before her death, picked her. That if they were going to do any kind of biopic, any television show, any biopic, anything, she told Hollywood, make Jennifer Hudson the star of her biopic. That's what Aretha Franklin and her dying as one of her last, some of her last dying words in this life. And what did Hollywood, or at least the Genius, that miniseries that talks about the different people like Einstein and all them, what did they do? They put someone else, and not just anyone else. They put in Cynthia Erivo, who's not even foundational Black American. Aretha Franklin is a foundational Black American. Cynthia Erivo is not. And it's not because I am attacking non-foundational Black Americans. I want I want unity among all Black people in the Black diaspora, Black immigrants, Black Americans to unite against white supremacy. But the reason why a lot of people also hate Cynthia Erivo is because of what she said about Black Americans, and particularly foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves, descendants of Native Americans who were Black, and stuff like that. Now back to the Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya played Fred Hampton in the film Judas and the Black Messiah, a foundational Black American who was fighting against white supremacy, which led to him getting assassinated, only to turn around and do this sketch mocking Black people who distrust chemical V because of the dangers, because of history of the medical industry and the racism towards Black people. And that is why he's getting called out. NBC is getting called out. SNL is getting called out. On Twitter, at least. I don't know if there's any other content creators who is doing live streams or just pre-recorded videos talking about this incident. I probably will email or share this article to see if I can, to see if there's going to be any responses. And I'm going to probably tell them that I talked about this on one of my live streams recently about the SNL sketch, but that was very disrespectful of SNL. And SNL has actually a history of doing racially insensitive sketches or racially or sensitive sketches about particular Black people. And this is why I barely even watch the show anymore. I really don't watch the show that much anymore at all. And I probably should never after seeing this piece of garbage sketch. This was not funny. This is not funny. All right. I just found out that some Black people, including a NBC News commentary, has died after getting chemical V. All right, that's why a lot of people in general are distrusting the chemical V. And the mainstream media is not heavily reporting on some of the deaths of these people after they got chemical V. That's why people are concerned about chemical V. and for SNL and Daniel Kaluuya to sit around and mock black people. Just sad and angrily. All right. What do I else want to talk about? Let's talk about the incident involving Noah Green. This was a man. Well, first of all, let me show his picture. This is a man by the name of Noah Green. Was a man named Noah Green. The reason why I say was is because he's dead. He died after being shot by the Capitol Police because he was let's just say he had mental health issues, and he slammed his car near the state capitol, which hit and attacked two Capitol Police officers. One of them is now dead. He even came out the car and tried to kill the surviving one with a knife until someone took him out. So, guess what they wanted to do? They wanted to see if they could pin this because the lamestream media and the racists wanted to tie him to a black group because they want us to forget about all those racist white folk on January 6th who was influenced by Ronald McDonald Trump to storm the Capitol. And guess who they happened to pick? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You see, they found out that he did a little donation to the Nation of Islam. But here's the thing. Just because he donated money to the Nation of Islam doesn't mean the Nation of Islam told him to attack the Capitol. All right, because Minister Louis Farrakhan does not want black people to do terrorist attacks. All right, he does not advocate for terrorist attacks on this government. He wants us to fight for our community and defend our community, but not commit terrorist attacks. He did a thing called the Million Man March in 1995, and it was a peaceful march. No one was storming into any Capitol buildings. It was a peaceful march. And the reason why they're picking to blame Minister Louis Farrakhan is because he speaks the truth about the racism in this country and this government. And a lot of non-black racists hate Minister Louis Farrakhan, even though he is truthful in what he says. They tried to censor him. They're now censoring his members and anyone who supports him. And they wanted to make him look like a terrorist by tying him to Norton Green. Norton Green was having mental health issues. You see, that's the thing. Well, see, when it's white people, when white people do terrorist attacks, it was mental health or had a bad day or had a freaking addiction. But when black people alone do something and it's just one black person doing something bad, they have to tie that person to a black group, but they had to pick a black group who's actually fighting for black people and make them look like terrorists. So And I don't believe anything that the lamestream media is saying. The lamestream media is just, they are going heavy on these attacks on black people and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just they try to find some way to pin this on Farrakhan when he had nothing to do with it. But that shows you how much the racists hate the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Before I go, I want to talk about, if you are a black gun owner, you need to be very careful, because Joe Biden is now starting to do executive actions on gun control. Do gun control executive actions, which means if you are a black gun owner, you need to be careful. If you're trying to become a black gun owner, I'm kind of trying to become one day myself. You need to be careful, because this government is doing everything to make black people defenseless. This is why Jim Crow Joe should have not been voted into office. And I hope he loses re-election. Let's teach him a lesson by making sure he loses re-election. Someone needs to primary him something. Because Joe Biden has shown that he is not a leader, and he has done not one thing to help the black community. Not one thing. But I think that's all I have to say in this live stream. That's all I gotta say. That's just some of the stuff. I'll probably want to do some pre-recorded videos, because there's some other stuff I probably want to do. Just do pre-recorded videos to help them get. It'll be easier to get more views to that and stuff. But that's all I'll have to say. Thank you for coming over. To those who came to my live stream, thank you for coming over. But that's all I have to say for now. This is Jdawg. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another live stream or video. Peace, everyone.